good morning. Hello and welcome to Tash Talks, the live show. Please do, when you jump on, say hello in the chat box. Perfect, we are live. Hello, hello, hello. Hey guys, and welcome to episode 11. Oh my goodness, let's adjust the camera. Perfect. Hello and welcome to Tash Talks, the live show. If you are new here, then please do put into the chat box below. Say hello, tell me whereabouts you're from, tell me your name, and kind of to give you a little bit of an overview, a bit of a gist about what to kind of expect from this. Well, I come live every single Friday at 10 a.m. live in this group for you to get your questions all around business, mindset, strategy, energetics, money, clients, anything, all the things about business. So if you have a question you would love me to answer, then the best way to do it is to DM my team, which are in here, which are Team NCC. DM them your question and then they will send me all the questions. I pick the best ones. I try and kind of make sure they're not all around the same topic so we can kind of get the most out of the time that we've got together. And it's really kind of raw, real, to the point, jam-packed full of great value, and then obviously in the time that we've got together, which is normally around 30 to 40 minutes is kind of how I like to keep this container. Hello everyone that's jumping on. So a little bit about what's going on in the back end of NCC. Well, we are just about to start our first live call, which is today, which is in the Breakthrough in Your Online Business. It's my free 3-day workshop, which is happening in here. Now, if you're already in here and you haven't signed up for the workshop, then find the link within here. I'll post it back up for you to sign up, because that's where you're going to get all the goodness. There's some other exciting things that are happening there. Plus, there is an epic competition, but you've got to be on the email list in order for you to actually be in the competition. So do not do all the work, and then when it comes to announcing the winner, I can't pick you because you weren't on the email list. So I will post that link back up for you. Actually, I will do it right now for you. Okay, so I'm just going to, just check the comment box and it's there for you. Just like that, just like magic, just like magic. Perfect, there you go. So this is what we are very excited in the back end. Guys, there's over 600 of you that have signed up for this challenge. Oh, it makes me truly so excited to be able to serve you. And I think, when I really reflect on this, of why this has had such a huge response, I think it's because there are so many other business workshops out there which teach you strategy, which is, are all very valuable. But I think because this is getting to the core of what truly matters in business, which is the energetics, which is the inner game, the mastering the mindset, the mastering the inner, mastering the soul, mastering resilience, mastering emotional intelligence. That is what creates success. And I'll be talking more about this in today's live, which is at 11:11. Of course it is. And we kick off on Monday, just before the incredible new moon. So it all feels very aligned in perfect divine timing. So there's the link for you to sign up. Let's get going. Okay, so let me get up my questions. And as I do, I'm just going to grab my water. So here we go. In your experience, is your launch strategy the same if selling an online course or a live program? Absolutely not. They are two very different launches. Why? When we are launching something that's live, it's time sensitive. It has a very different energy to it. So of course, your strategy in launching when you're doing an online program, let's say it's an online course, it's already been done. So you have to form a very different strategy to be able to create that same excitement for it. Another really important factor to think about is your energy. And something I teach in Conscious Coach is about human design and running your business by your human design, running your business by your energy. Are you somebody that literally gets so excited out of the gate and then you kind of filter through a launch and then you get really excited again at the end? Or are you somebody, when you go for a launch, does your mood is very dependent on the stats? Then we need to change your strategy. If you're getting affected, if your confidence, the confidence on the outcome and the goal and your intuition and your intention for this launch is getting dampened because of the amount of sign-ups or because of the amount of people that joined on live. Because of that, then you need to change your strategy. So there's a few factors I want to share about launching. So it also depends on when you're doing a live and an evergreen, very, very different strategies. You also factors of the type of launch, because there's so many different types of launches you can do. Workshops, challenges, webinars, live series. You could do a in-person experience. It could be a drop feed, an audio drop feed. There's so many different ways you can launch. You can also launch with and without ads. You can also launch without it being a big song and dance. I have done so many launches literally through my Insta stories. So it's very dependent on, this is how I kind of work with when I do my one-on-one clients. It's very dependent on you, your business model, how you like to launch, where your energy is, your human design, what it is that you're launching, the length of your launching. Some of the other mini factors are what it actually is of the length of the program or what it is that you're selling and the price point. So there's many different factors when you're thinking about launching. And then there's kind of like little micro factors to consider in. So when we think about launching, I know launching can get a really bad rap, but all launching is presenting your offer to your people. That is all launching is. In how you do it, in what way you do it is very dependent on you, your business, and what feels good to you. What I would definitely say is, if you don't enjoy launching, if you've had experience of launching, I wouldn't put the whole outcome on just that one bad experience or the energy that launch gave you. Because, for example, I have for many years I've probably done every single launch you could possibly think of in very many different ways and got very many different outcomes with it. And as you grow in business, you really step into what actually feels good and what you enjoy to do. Now, one element of my business, what I love doing is lives. Hence why I give this value every Friday. I love it. Like, I absolutely love it. I love Insta stories. I love doing live launches. So for example, my workshop that I'm doing next week, that element sets me on fire, okay? It doesn't excite me as much of when I'm doing something that's pre-recorded. Like when I have to record an ad, let's say I'm doing a video for Facebook ads, I find it a lot more challenging because I don't do scripted. I don't do that. So I kind of like to just riff and go. That's kind of how I like to do things. So when I'm doing something that's evergreen, the majority of the time, I'm trying to think if there's ever been a time where I haven't done it. No, the majority of the time, 90% of the time it has been a live program. It's been a live masterclass that I package up and then sell as evergreen, okay? So you have to really tap into what you actually enjoy to do in business, because there's no point copying doing something because you've seen somebody else do it unless you actually vibe, unless that's your energy, unless that's your format, unless that's how you want to show up. So you really do have to step into the CEO of your business and go, what sets my soul on fire? Because your energy behind the action that you are taking, so the energy behind the strategy you're executing, is far more important than the actual strategy action that you are taking, okay? So the energy behind it, the intention behind it is far more potent than what it actually is that you're doing. Let's say you're putting a post out on Instagram. It's not so much the post that matters, it matters the energy and the intention behind it. Have you ever seen something on Instagram where you're like, just didn't vibe that, didn't feel that? Because that's energy. You can't fake energy. People feel it, people read it, people see it, people vibe it, people hear it. Like everything's energy. So of course, we then can vibe off other people's energy. So you have to be making sure that what you're doing in your business actually vibes with who you are as a person and as a businesswoman. I really want to learn how to master the energetics of business. What would you suggest my first step is? Easy. Join my free workshop, Breakthrough in Your Online Business. Like, we start literally, we're doing a welcome party call today and we start next week. Simple. That's the best step, easiest step to take. Okay, what's the difference? What different things should you be focused on when building compared to scaling a business? This is a great question. Just prepping myself with the water. Okay, Here are the differences when you break down if you are in the building stage of your business and the scaling. And now before I do this, I'd love for you to put into the chat box and tell me, are you in the building stage or are you in the scaling stage? So I'd love to hear that in the chat box. So when you are building your business, you are in a very different stage to scaling. And I love this question because you are very aware that there is a difference. So many people say, oh, I'm scaling my business, and you find out where they are and you're like, you're not scaling, you're building. You are absolutely building your business, okay? You're not scaling, you're building. So what you need to focus on when it comes to building, mastering the inner game. Like mastering your mindset, mastering the energetics, mastering how resilient you are, your emotional intelligence is extremely important, because there's going to be a lot of things that come up whilst building your business that is going to challenge you, that's going to trigger you, and that is going to need you to change. So in order for that to happen, you need to have mastered those skills. So that's the inner side to it. Strategy is you need to focus on building a social media presence. This is very different. This isn't me just saying, start an Instagram page, right? This is so much more different. I want you to see this as a business owner. You are building a social media presence, and the point and your focus should be to grow an engaged community. So, and I'm not saying you are doing this, but if you're listening to this live and this is what you are doing in regards to, you're focusing so much on the money and how many clients you need to sign up, you need to shift this focus. When you are building your business, you want to be thinking about the building structure, the foundational blocks. That's what your focus needs to be. In order for you to build that and scale it, you actually need to create these foundational blocks to start with, okay? Your focus needs to be freebies, giving incredible value, right? When I first started, when I was building my business, I was doing free webinars all of the time. I'd say every single month. I was going live in my Facebook group once a week, giving tons of value. I wasn't so much focusing on Instagram at the time. It was more kind of Facebook. I was live twice a week on my business page on Facebook page, right? Creating tons of value in my freebies, doing like one-off hot seating kind of coaching for me to build my presence, I didn't have any paying clients at that point. So of course, for me to be able to get those paying clients, people needed to have a snippet of what it's like to be coached by Natasha. So stop thinking about and being in that mindset of, well, no, I'm not going to do this because I see that person do this and they don't do that. That person also might be X amount of time in business already. So there's so many people now that have built such an engaged community on Instagram, they don't need to do free stuff because they've spent 6 years or 5 years in the making of doing this. A great example for you is Carrie Green, the author of She Means Business. She gave value for 2 whole years before she started her membership. 2 whole years, she did not charge for anything. And then she started her membership site. Do I think that you need to do that? No, it's just a great example of how she gave tons of value. So of course, as soon as she was releasing something and this was the price, people were buying because she built the know, like, and trust factor. And when you're building a business, if you don't have the trust factor, you will not have anybody pay you. Because when somebody pays you, they trust you. And that is what you need to be building, right? So another thing I want you to be focusing on is 1 or 2 offers max. And you 1,000,000% should be having 1 signature program. Okay? This is this one program that you rinse and repeat. You launch, you learn, you launch, you learn, you launch, you learn. You keep going. This isn't I've done it once and that's it. And how come I didn't sell out and I didn't make 100K in my first launch, so that means I'm never going to be successful? No, it means you're learning. And let's celebrate every freaking person that does sign up and that does pay you and that comes into your program. And then you tweak it, you learn it, you hear what your clients are loving from it, maybe what's missing from the program, maybe what you could add to it, how you can tweak it, the price point, the length, the vibe, the feeling, the content, the live aspect. All of these things, you need to be learning from it. And that needs to be your focus when you're building your business. Boom. This should have been a paid masterclass. So in order for you to get your business to consistent months, let's say, this will absolutely get you to your 10, your 15, your 20K months, right? Consistently. Then we want to think about scaling that. The one thing that's similar was exactly the same between building and scaling your business is the inner work. You will not hear me miss this out. When you're building your business, it's crucial. When you're scaling your business, it's crucial. It's crucial to the outcome of how successful your business is by how much work you do on yourself. The inner game is a constant mastery. It's something that you continue to work on, because every time you're going to hit a new level in your business, I don't like that new level, new devil, but I know that lots of people have heard about it. I see it as a new level, a new opportunity. There's a new depth. There's there's more space and capacity that needs into you to go deeper. So as you reach that next level in business, it requires a next level you. And that becomes from the inner work. No strategy will get the next level you. It's the inner work that what needs to be done. So let's say you're mastering that. You're like, brilliant, Tash. Yeah, absolutely doing that. Okay, now what we need to do is you've built your social media presence. Now we need to leverage it. You want to be making sure that you are known in your field. You are known in your industry for what it is that you do. So can you see in your building stages, that's why I say to you, be known for that one signature program. Be that known person. Be like, oh my goodness, Natasha Clark is that known person for soul strategy. She teaches her clients how to scale, how to build their businesses, mastering energetics and strategy, right? Be known for that. Now, because as you're scaling your business, because you're the known person for that, you have built that social proof. You've built that, you're the expert in this. So getting clients is just so much more easier. You're getting people send you through DMs. You don't even need to sell that hard, because your community is so built on trust that when you put something out there on Insta stories, people want to work with you. You've also built people that have already paid and worked with you, want to continue their journey with you and want to buy that next thing, which leads me to your product suite. So it's extremely important that when you're scaling, that is what you want to focus on. That's why I don't mention it in building, because when you're building, you only want 1 or 2 offers. You want to really master your craft in that signature offer. When you're scaling, you want to then build your product suite. So when people are coming into your world, they're coming in at different levels. They're coming in at different price points. They're coming in for different needs. They're requiring different things from you. Well, guess what? As you're scaling your business, you can offer that different level, that different stage, that different price point. And the incredible thing about having a product suite, it doesn't mean that everybody's always going to come into your product suite at the lowest price point. And it doesn't mean that when people come into your world, they only want to pay the least amount. That may be true for some people, and that's fine. That can meet them at their income level. But also you're going to get a lot of, let's say, people that want to come into your world as your one-on-ones. Like I've had a lot of people want to have a taste of what it's like to come and work with me. So they'll come into one of my masterclasses. They'll come and maybe join into the tribe. They'll come into one of my low ticket offers, love what I do, and then absolutely sign me up. I want to work with you one-on-one. So it's not always just the case of someone's coming in at that price point because that's all they can afford. It's also sometimes they want to have a snippet of what it's like. Maybe they've just found you on Instagram, you've built your social media presence, they're loving the vibe, but they want to have a little bit of a snippet of what it's like even more. That's why it's so important that your low ticket offers are as, if not better, than your high ticket offers. Don't think, oh, just because it's this price point, I'm not going to make it any good. No, wow them, go over and beyond. So yeah, you want to have a product suite. You want to be selling multiple offers. You want to also think about hiring a team. So in a gist, they're the difference between building and scaling your business. They require different touch points with help. So for example, having a coach and a mentor at both levels is absolutely crucial. It is so important. If you want to fast track your success, if you want to be around that energy, if you want to surround yourself with somebody that has built their business to the level of success that you desire to, in a way that you desire it to, that's key. Then you find that coach and mentor that matches that. So next question. Firstly, Firstly, just want to say I blooming love you. Oh, thank you so much. I love how successful you are, yet you always keep it so real. Would love to know, do you get scared? Question mark. And do you feel imposter syndrome? Question mark. Yes and yes. I am human. Of course I get scared. Of course I've experienced imposter syndrome. But let me explore this a little bit more with you. The difference is I get scared, but I'm able to hold fear. Before, when I first started my business, the fear would absolutely consume me. That's why I didn't make decisions that I, in quote, should have, which would have definitely accelerated my success a lot quicker and developed me as a person a lot more quicker, especially as a CEO. But I let the fear consume me. And now we have control over that. We think it has control over us, but it doesn't. And I'm going to be digging much, much more into this into the workshop next week. But I now know how to hold fear. Fear isn't a bad thing. So you need to get that out of your head. You know, just as an entrepreneur, don't think that no other entrepreneurs or successful women don't feel scared. Of course they do. But I freaking love this because that's when you feel that fear, you know you're on an edge. And an edge is great. Edge is growth. Edge is how you accelerate to that next level. If you always stay in your comfort zone, you ain't growing anywhere, right? So yes, I get scared, but I'm able to hold fear. And what's extremely important that I communicate this with you is I have been able to master neutrality because of RRT, which is what I teach my clients. Rapid resolution therapy. Because I'm able to have neutrality around edges, money, clients, success, I am then able to up level. And I want to share a story with you when I massively felt imposter syndrome. Massively. To the point where I wanted to run. I joined a group program and I joined the first call, and we'd started off the first call where people were celebrating their successes. And I've just done this and I've just this. Now I came in 2 weeks into the program. The program had already started 2 weeks ago, but I came in 2 weeks later. So just in this already in 2 weeks, they had already reached these milestones that they were sharing, and I was like this. I just wanted to hide. I felt like a complete fish out of water. I was like, what am I doing here? I do not have these numbers to celebrate. I do not have these milestones, these successes, this leverage to celebrate. I didn't have that. So I remember coming off the first call and I burst into tears and I was like, what have I done? Like, what have I done? I am just in way too deep here. And then I had to have a chat with myself because I was literally leaving the group. Like I paid for the group, but I was like, I'm not joining that group anymore. You're joking. It makes me feel like a failure. It makes me feel like I'm not good enough. It makes me feel, can you hear this? I'm blaming what everyone else's successes is making me feel. No one can make you feel a certain way unless you allow them to make you feel that way. So I'd lost control. I'd lost my own power. And I had to have a chat with myself and got myself together, and staying in the group was the best thing that I did because it made me grow. Surrounding myself with other females that had reached levels that I hadn't reached yet showed me what was possible. All of a sudden, I wasn't the big fish in the small tank. I was the very, 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 very tiny fish egg in a very large ocean of sharks and great whales, okay? But this is where you want to be, because guess what? You rise them up. And you have two ways to see it. You can sink and feel sorry for yourself and go, oh my goodness, poor me, I've not reached these levels of successes. Or you can go, bring it. These badasses are showing me what is possible. And they are helping me tap into those feelings of being able to say these things and feeling those feelings and being able to be around that energy and ask those questions. Okay, so how does that feel when you've done this? Oh my goodness, this is amazing. Woo, go you. Okay, so it helps you to level up. So that's my edge. So ask yourself, are you at your edge? Are you pushing yourself to your edge? Or are you always staying in your comfort zone? Are you always going, yeah, I won't do this or I won't do this because of this? Or are you like, I am rising up? What is your current mantra? At the moment, my current mantra, I've got it on my board, is no matter what, right? And I done a live on this on Instagram, I think last week, so check out my feed. And I spoke about the no matter what attitude. And that is why you can reach levels in business and successes that not a lot of people can, because of that attitude. And I want to ask you, do you have that attitude? Or do you only have that attitude when things are going great? When you're signing the clients, you're making the money, you're getting asked to appear in magazines and newspapers and the TV shows and all of these things. Is it all great when it's great? Or are you in the no matter what camp? Like, this launch will be a success no matter what. I'm going to feel great no matter what. I'm going to show up every single day and be consistent no matter what. I know I'm going to reach this level of income no matter what. Are you in that camp? That is my question to you. Oh, some great questions, guys. Okay, so how long did it take you in your business before you had freedom? Great question. I mean, there's so much we can kind of dig into this, but firstly, I want to say I'm going to share my whole journey of how I started my business to where it is today at 11:11. So catch that one. But I kind of want to dig into, I mean, freedom is such, how you're going to explain freedom could be very, very different to how I could explain freedom. So freedom, when I first started my business, was freedom of my time, freedom to not have to ask to go to the toilet, freedom to have a midday bath and have money to then go and have a massage, right? And then as my business has grown, my freedom's very different in regards to now I have my son Santiago and the freedom of my family and the freedom of where I want to grow this brand to. But to tap into that is a feeling. So, and everybody's feeling around freedom and what it means to them is going to be very, very different. So one tip I would say to you is, how can you tap into that feeling right now? How can you feel freedom now without you having to have reached a certain level in your business in order for you to do that? Second thing I want to say is, everybody's on a different time scale. So I've got clients that I've worked with that came to me and are hitting different huge milestones in their business way before I was doing that at that particular point in my business. So I had a client come to me that had never charged for her coaching services. She had a Facebook group with people in it, which was highly engaged, but she'd never charged. And in 3 months of working together, she'd launched her first program and made 7,000, and then from that, then launched her group program and she made multiple thousands from it. So that wasn't my experience. But you've also got to understand, my clients are making different decisions to what I was making at their level back when I first started. So it really kind of depends on the no matter what attitude, the actions that you're taking, because your actions is going to determine your outcome and your results. Simple. So I think the question will go back to you in regards to, what I would say is, widen your context on because I feel like you're limiting yourself by saying, I need to make 6 figures in my first year in business in order for me to be success. I call bullshit. Like, who says who? Says absolute who. There's people that have started their business that in their first month in business made 10K. And there's also people that it took me, I think, 18 months before I hit my first 10K month. Neither of them are right or wrong. Neither of them, it's our journey, and your journey is going to be very, very different. And the actions that you take are going to determine your results that you're going to get. So of course they're going to be very, very different. And everything's context. If you've run a business before, then you're savvy, you understand about business. So then putting that into your new business, you're kind of going to be a few steps ahead of someone that's never done business before. So someone then stepping into a first 10K month is going to be, well, of course, because maybe in their last business, 10K months is what they made. So they had a different energetic match to the money. They had different experience. They understood the business foundations. For example, for me, when I first came into my business, I had no idea. My last business before that wasn't a success. So I wasn't coming into the business completely savvy and knew what to do and how to make money and had this new energetic minimum of that 20K is my energetic minimum. That's not where I was in business. And also, like I mentioned before, the fear held me back so much. So of course, I didn't excel in my business probably at the speed that I could have. because of the decisions that I made. So you've got to take radical self-responsibility when it comes to that. Okay, so last question. Love the green today. Thank you. It's for St. Patrick's Day. What do you feel are the traits of a successful female entrepreneur? Yes, great question. Okay. What do you feel are the traits of a successful female entrepreneur? I feel like a female entrepreneur, she needs to be driven. She needs to be passionate. She needs to be determined, the no matter what attitude. She needs to be tenacious. She needs to be eager to learn. She needs to be confident in who she is. Have the understanding and being open to being worthy and feeling totally enough. She needs to be someone that finds solutions and not problems. She needs to be somebody that holds the fear and is able to manage fear and feel the fear and freaking do it anyway. She needs to have a regulated nervous system. That is for absolute sure. And she needs to love what she does. And she needs to love who she does this for. Way greater than any fear. Because in your business, whatever stage you're at, there's going to be things that come up for you. There's going to be challenges, adversities, personal and in business. There's going to be triggers. There's going to be shit that goes wrong. There's going to be so much that you're going to have to deal with and have the capacity in order to deal with all of that. But when you have a great love for what you do and for who you do it for, the rest is light work. When you make that your focus, every single day I get out of bed because I get to change women's lives. I get to help them be able to build and scale their businesses of their dreams. I get to help them regulate their nervous systems. I get to help them to be able to shift those limiting beliefs that are holding them back. Like, that is my job. So if I'm not getting out of bed, jumping up, excited to get into this office, then I might as well quit right now. Because no amount of money in your bank account is enough to feel this, to fake the energy. You may think it is, but it's not. Because once you then learned how to master the neutrality when it comes to money, the money in the bank account is just digits, it's just figures. That's all it is. The real work is how you're able to transform people's lives as well as your own. That's the real work. That's the real love. That's when you can be able to step outside your comfort zone, when you're able to show up from a pure place of service and value. This is why I love doing this Tash Talks live show every single Friday and giving value. You know, I'm not giving value and then selling. You know, sometimes I might mention some of the things that I do, but that's just because it comes really natural. My whole point of doing this is to give value because I freaking love it. That's it. And I think that is a beautiful way to finish Tash Talks live show. So I'm so excited and I hope that you have all thoroughly enjoyed today's session as much as I have, and I cannot wait to see you at 11:11 for our first welcome kickoff party call for breakthrough in your online business. Mwah. Go and have the most epic day. Remember, you're a freaking badass. Bye.